You are with the news here. I'm Seher Zama, and we're making a start with the Prime Minister's speech that has been made on the floor of the House in the Lok Sabha here. And this has been one of the longest, in close to 2 hours of that speech. Prime Minister Modi in detail discussing the benefits of the farm laws and slamming the opposition for misleading the farmers. He took on the opposition, insisted here that the farm laws do not bind the farmers but instead give them a freedom of choice. He has accused the opposition again of misleading the farmers, reiterating that neither their mandis will be shut nor will the MSP go away.
पहली बार एक नया तर्क आया इस सदन में कि भाई हमने मांगा नहीं था तो दिया क्यों। किसी ने किसी के गले मड़ा नहीं है, ऑप्शनल है। दहेज के खिलाफ कानून बने, ये इस देश में कभी किसी ने मांग नहीं की थी, फिर भी देश की प्रगति के लिए कानून बना था। आंदोलन का एक नया तरीका है। क्या तरीका है? आंदोलनकारी जो होते हैं वो ऐसे तरीके नहीं अपनाते। आंदोलनजीवी होते हैं वो ऐसे तरीके अपनाते हैं और वो कहते हैं ऐसा हुआ तो ऐसा होगा, ऐसा होगा तो ऐसा होगा, ऐसा होगा तो ऐसा होगा। अरे भाई, जो कुछ हुआ ही नहीं, जो होना नहीं है, उसका भय पैदा कर करके।
In fact, this was the argument that was continuously raised here by the opposition, and the opposition, in fact, as we saw in the duration of these past 2 hours, with multiple interruptions to the Prime Minister's speech here and sloganeering that continued here, chanting in one voice to roll back the farm laws. The Congress, in fact, chose to stage a walkout mid-speech of the Prime Minister here, and the Prime Minister then took a dig at them, saying that the Congress is confused on this matter.
मान्य अध्यक्ष जी, ये हो हल्ला, ये आवाज, ये रुकावटें डालने का प्रयास एक सोची समझी रणनीति के तहत है।
Yes, this is what we've seen in the span of 2 hours here. Remember, almost a 2-hour speech that was made by the Prime Minister on multiple fronts, explaining the benefits of the farm laws yet again, directly reaching out to the farmers there from the floor of the House, saying that we are ready to continue with the dialogue process here. We are open for amendments. A repeal of the laws has continuously been ruled out by the government, but the government now making sure that amendments will be made. Whatever the fears of the farmers need to be discussed, there needs to be a solution, but that solution will be, which the government is ready for, is in the form of amendments to these farm laws. This has been fairly unprecedented in a manner in which the Prime Minister's speech here, that was multiple times interrupted on the floor of the House by the opposition. This came in at a time when the Prime Minister accused the opposition of misleading innocent farmers. Let's get in more voices. In fact, one that we're getting in from the opposition. We have NCP leader Mr. Majid Memon with us over the phone line. Good evening, sir. Thank you for being with us here. This has been a long and extended, detailed speech here, and with Prime Minister has chosen this time to take up the issue far more in detail than was ever seen earlier on this matter of the farmers' agitation and the farm laws. For you, your big takeaway from this speech today and what the government intends?
Well, I think if one carefully examines the expression of the Honorable Prime Minister today in Lok Sabha in comparison to yesterday in Rajya Sabha, because in Rajya Sabha, if you will just see the clippings, he was all praised for Manmohan Singh ji and Sharad Pawar ji. He named them and he said that, look here, we are following them. They are great leaders. We are following them. Why you should be happy? So we had immediately reacted yesterday itself before he spoke in Lok Sabha today, saying that if you are indeed appreciating Manmohan Singh and Sharad Pawar, as we have been proclaiming, then they both are today saying that farmers are right in requesting for repeal. agree for repeal, then what is the point that you are talking like this on the floor and behaving otherwise? Now, today, he alleges that Sharad Pawar has backtracked or he has rather backstabbed, which is again something contradicting his stance. In fact, calling agitating farmers as you see, Andolan GVs or pesticides, it doesn't befit, it doesn't, suit a Buddhijeevi. I would say that a Buddhijeevi calling in democracy those who are protesting for their rights as pesticides or Andolan GV, one does not know what should one call such Buddhijeevi. Calling in democracy those who are protesting for their rights as pesticides.
Right. Mr. Memon, if my voice there is still going through, this is also a clarification here that came in from the Prime Minister here on the choice of using the word Andolan GV, to which he explained here today, because of the nature of criticism that had come in with respect to the Rajya Sabha speech there. He explained today that a pure farmers' protest with the right intention in mind is being diluted by others who are joining in these protests and making demands which are not connected to the farmers' protest, making demands for the release of certain individuals from jail which are not connected to the farmers' protest. So he's put in an explanation to that as well today.
This explanation is an ill-based allegation which betrays the facts or the truth. If you can look at the whole operation, from day one, the farmers have been asking for repeal of laws. It is not at the instigation of opposition party leaders or some other interested people who are against Mr. Narendra Modi who have instigated them to change their stand. Their stand has been from day one, and they have been peacefully agitating for more than 3 months now. For first 2 months, opposition never stepped up, never joined them, because they did not want the Andolan to be called politically motivated. We distanced ourselves. We never went to the farmers. We said, all right, independent, it's an apolitical effort that you are making. Let there be no allegation that the opposition is instigating. It is only when the patience was lost, when more than 2 months passed, more than 10 meetings took place, and the government showed its persistence, adamant not to repeal, then the opposition has stepped in now. When more than 2 months passed, more than 10.
Right. All right. So, Mr. Memon, in your understanding that the protest that continues to be pure to the intent of the welfare of the farmers here, there aren't others who are joining the bandwagon here in adding to the thrust of the to the farmers' agitation. Please stay with us. We'll be getting in Ms. Anila Singh of the BJP with us over the phone line here as well. Ms. Singh, for you, the big takeaway here from what has come in a very long and extended, almost 2-hour speech from Prime Minister Modi in the Lok Sabha on the floor of the House, and this also coming in the face of multiple interruptions and a walkout by the opposition that we've seen mid-speech by the Prime Minister.
This is a very weird way of opposition to show their protest. They walk away. That is absolutely a wrong thing in a democracy, I can. So because they are here to represent their constituency, their people, their public representatives, and when they walk out, they are ditching their people, their constituents people, and their political party as well. So it is their loss, I can say so. But to tell you exactly, it was 1 hour 40 minutes speech of Honorable Prime Minister, and he has explained many verticals in a very very broader way. And I'm pretty sure that the viewers who have listened to him, they must have understood, and they have failed the theory, perception, and the narrative built by the opposition party or the organizations or the people who wanted to show that these farm laws or the Prime Minister of this country doesn't care for farmers.
Miss Anila Singh, what do you think is going to happen next in your understanding? Because this has once again been a direct outreach, reaching out to the farmers. Prime Minister Modi once again himself saying in addressing the protesting farmers directly through the floor of the House, that the government wants to continue with the dialogue process. There is a midway that needs to be reached. That the farmers cannot continue to insist on an absolute repeal. The government will not do that. But today we are open for amendments. Amendments is the key to resolve this.
The stand of the government has always been this, that any solution can come out when you reach out, when you make a dialogue, there's a conversation, then only any solution can come out. Right from the beginning, I have said one thing here, that these farm laws are not for Punjab, Haryana, or part of Uttar Pradesh. These farm laws are for whole country. So a central government has to take care of farmers living in Jammu and Kashmir to Kerala, from Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh. So we know it very well that agriculture is a state subject, and all the state governments who do not have any appreciation for these laws, I have a simple question, that what you have done for the farmers? Why are you not improving the lifestyle of the farmers, living standard of the farmers? If you do not agree with these farm laws and you have created a sort of fear psychosis that private players are going to come, corporates are going to come, they're going to snatch away your land. I mean, this is absolutely bizarre, bizarre. Change always leads to success, progress. We cannot.
Mr. Memon, please respond to that here. That this is a fear psychosis that is being built to what Anila has said, keeping in mind what Prime Minister Modi's speech was here, that public investment is important, but private investment is as important. This is something that we need to embrace and do not build this fear psychosis for the farmers.
Public investment is important. No, speaking on a television channel, public investment and private investment comparison would not yield a just result. These things have to be discussed in the House. These things are to be discussed between the ruling party and the opposition party at great length. These things have to be discussed between the agitating farmers and the ruling ministers, not by a spokesperson on the television. Let me also correct my friend that, well, talks have been going on. There has to be some end to talk. How many rounds of talks? A dozen. And then still we are open for talk. Our doors are open for talk. Farmers are dying. They are suffering and shivering in the cold in Delhi. They are just being lathi charged. They are being alleged to be anti-national. They are also being alleged as instrument at the hands of some foreign anti-national forces or opposition parties. These are all baseless allegations. Please sympathize with these farmers. And when you're talking about this only Punjab and Haryana, the whole country's farmers, you ask them, if you have accessibility to the farmers, ask them, would they be happy if the three laws are implemented on the ground? And you are talking about private investment and public investment, which is better. Don't make rich people richer and poor.
Okay, so these are differences that come about. Right, in different states here. Well, we appreciate you sharing your views with us, Mr. Memon, Ms. Anila Singh. We'll have to leave it at that here. In fact, let's also give out the opposition's point of view, and this is coming in from Congress, because while the opposition was also interrupting the Prime Minister's speech and sloganeering, it is the Congress that chose to walk out mid-speech. Congress leader Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary there said that the opposition actually expected a lot from the Prime Minister's speech. And the Prime Minister agreed that the farm laws will not benefit all states. Take a listen in.
हम प्राइम मिनिस्टर के रिप्लाई में बहुत सारे उम्मीद किया था कि कम से कम इतने सारे किसानों की मौत की और ये स्थिति को देखते हुए प्राइम मिनिस्टर साहब कुछ किसानों के बारे में ठोस कदम उठाने की वार्ता हमें देंगे। उन्होंने कह रहे थे कि हम किसानों के लिए ये कर रहे हैं, वो कर रहे हैं। कहते कहते वो ये भी कह दिया हमारा कानून में किसी को लाभ हो सकता, किसी को नुकसान भी हो सकता। तो मैंने कहा आप क्यों ऐसा कानून ला रहे हो कि किसी को लाभ होगा? हम तो सबके लाभ के लिए आपको कानून लाना चाहिए था। और ये भी हम कहा आप जब कहते हो सब कुछ ठीक है, जब सब कुछ ठीक है तो कानून लाने की क्या जरूरत है?
Please stay on with us. We're back in just a bit here. News and updates continue.